All right, so all the way down here to Sector Corona, and we unplugged the Zoom before we hit stop, and we lost our entire conversation.
Yeah, that happened.
So that's kind of disappointing because it was a good conversation.
It was. It was a good conversation, but I'm sure that we'll cover all those topics and then some.
Yeah, at some point.
Later on. So how you feeling, man? We just did some no-gi at Sector Corona. How you feeling?
I am beat up, tore up, and tired.
Good.
So
good.
It's I enjoy it. I enjoy no-gi a lot. It's a faster pace, you know, and I think it's a better fit for smaller guys against bigger guys. I think it definitely works a little better because they can scramble a little more.
I agree.
And there's nothing that the bigger guy, like if you're wearing, you know, a gi or PJs or whatever you want to call them, it's got those handles, so it makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And I could definitely feel that today, especially with you and Spencer, the black belt at Sector Corona. You know, again, it goes back to what we were talking about in the other Erase podcast. As far as I really had to control that position for the pass and not so much as lay on top of you, but really control your legs, control your hips, all without holding on to the pajamas, and makes it difficult. But you know, it's improving my passing game because it'll all translate to having that gi on and make that my gi game that much tighter.
I agree with that. I think that it does have that that push that makes you, like, you can be a little more sloppy. Is that the word? Like you can be a little more carefree in no-gi, I think. No, in gi. You can be a little more carefree in gi and not so, because you have to be pretty tight when you do no-gi. Yeah. So I just feel like it tightens up your gi game because you have to, like, control that person. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm, like, still recovering from tonight's training and being brutalized and manhandled by other men.
He liked it.
We all love it. Yeah, it's good times. I just think that you need to. I think it helps if you do both. I really do. I love no-gi, so I really do. It's fun. It's and I think it does help your gi game move along too. Makes it a little tighter. And,
yeah, you definitely see where your gaps are with the no-gi, especially when you're rolling. When I'm rolling with higher belts like you and Spencer, and it really shows me where I'm leaving those openings. Not in my no-gi game, but my gi game especially, and it's forcing me to tighten that up and make it where I'm not leaving those gaps open, and keeping that pressure down and focusing on controlling the limbs rather than just relying on a strong gi grip.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's helping out my gi game, you know, with all those things, and trying to have a game that can incorporate both of them. But at the same time, you and the guys are catching on to my silly little tricks, so I need to start coming up with different things to start attacking you all with.
We were talking about in the other previous podcast about how it translates into real life. No-gi translates into real life and gi as well. And there's that old argument about gi versus no-gi and all that crap. But I think that both are applicable. You know, I train both, so I feel like they're both applicable to real life situations, no matter what.
No, they absolutely are. I mean, most people have been in some type of altercation in their life, and I've had people decide that they wanted to fight me for whatever reason. I told them it was a bad idea, did everything I could, but it ended up happening, and it did not go well for them. But the nice thing is, I pretty much just took the guy down to the ground, got him in an inverted armbar or whatever. So he was kind of on one side, I was knee on belly, and I had his arm straight up with his wrist by my neck, and I had control of his elbow. And I told him, I was like, I don't want to break your arm, so stop fighting me. And he gave up. And then the cops were actually right outside for something else, and so they came in and ultimately got him handcuffed and took him to jail. So it was silliness. I mean, the guy, he was just a drunken fool, and his buddy was a drunken fool, and they wanted to fight with me and my buddy, and the one guy tried to sucker punch me when I had my back to him, and it was just silliness. That's one of the reasons I like going out to bars and stuff. Like, I like hanging out with my friends, but at the same time, you just have so many dorks out there who get a little bit of that liquid courage and think they're the next MMA fighter.
Yeah, and it's getting getting more popular, so people are feeling like they're they watch a couple of YouTube videos and start going out there, and it's that unfortunately can be dangerous for them too, because you don't know who you're going against. I mean, it's funny, as I've gotten older and more into jiu-jitsu and all that good stuff, I check the ears and check the hands to see what kind of fingers they got, because if they got all twisted up, tangled fingers, then that they've been doing the gi game. So
those busted up carrot knob fingers. And it's true though. But you see a lot of guys who, like we've gone out to different bars and breweries and stuff like that with our jiu-jitsu friends, and everybody just has a good time because we just got done fighting each other. Last thing we want to do is keep fighting, and but you just get these guys that they got something to prove. They got that ego that they want to be the bullies and go out there and show everybody what a tough guy they are. And those are the guys who are dangerous. They're skilled fighters with nothing to lose. And we all have full-time jobs that we got to protect, and got to pay house payments and bills and all that stuff, and I can't afford to lose my job. So it makes no sense for me to go fight some knucklehead and then have him turn around and say that it was my fault or I started or something like that, and then I'm going to jail for that.
Right.
So I definitely do not spend much time in the bars, and if we're there, we see someone acting silly, then we just try to leave right away. I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, well, I'm here, I can stay here and all that stuff, which you can if that's what you want to do, but you kind of see the writing on the wall of what's about to happen, and it's just not worth it anymore. It's
not.
Go somewhere else or call it a night.
Yeah, exactly. I think again that comes from any martial art mostly, but I think mainly because we practice murder on each other. It makes it a little more like I really don't want to fight. I do that a lot, and I don't want to get hurt. Number one, I want to go train tomorrow, so if I get in a fight, he's got a knife or a gun, I'm fuck, I don't want to get hurt. Come on.
Well, and we don't have anything to prove to anybody either. We know where our skill set lies. We have that confidence to, I can defend myself if I want to. I've done it countless times, but I don't need to go beat somebody up to prove a point, especially the people who are drunk, who I'm sure in their normal sober state of mind, they're decent people. They don't need to be messed up for the rest of their lives because they had too much to drink or had something going on in their lives that we have nothing to know, that we have no idea about.
Right.
And
you never know what somebody else is going through at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody has their issues. So, that's one thing about being on the mat, for me anyways, is it definitely clears my head. It brings me back into a reality and brings me back into focus and helps me keep my shit together. So like going into after my sister passed, I think I was out for a week, and then I went right back to it because I knew that it would help clear my mind and help keep me from focusing on the negative and all that. So it definitely, and I'm telling you, I went in on Tuesday, I felt so much better. Tuesday night, I just felt like I had better focus, clarity. There were so many people there that were caring, and it was great. It definitely helps, bring that into focus for me, and I appreciate that. That's one thing I love about the jiu-jitsu community. It's just
I like what you were talking about, that helps you refocus, because in our everyday lives we have so much silliness going on, and it's easy to get distracted by it and lose focus on the important things because you're so concerned about all these other silly little things. Someone cut you off on the freeway early in the day, or someone yelled at you, or other stuff that, like, we can let it bounce off or whatever, but sometimes it's just that irritant, like, man, I hope that person's having a bad day.
Yeah.
And you go to jiu-jitsu and all those things, like, who cares? I just go about my day. It's not a big deal. All those other things are gone. There's plenty more to spend my energy on rather than those other things that you just can't control just because someone's, again, goes back to they're having a bad day, or they're going to make some silly choices, and that's on them. Let them carry on with their lives and
not get us involved.
Yes.
Because I'd much rather go home and go to bed and wake up and go to work tomorrow, or whatever it is you got to do. It's way more important.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I just feel like it's definitely a life leveler. So I don't know. Anyways, so plans for the week? Nothing going on really. I'm good.
Well, no. I work today, and then I work into tomorrow, and then I'm going out.
Are you going out to Joshua Tree?
I'm going out to Joshua Tree Friday.
Okay, you're going out Friday?
Yeah, I'm going to stay the night out there, and I might bring my bouldering pad, do a little bit of rock climbing, bouldering stuff.
Right on.
I don't know. And then I'll come back Saturday, and then we're all heading out there Sunday morning first thing for what I hope is going to be a fun little hike, and
heck yeah.
Enjoy the time out there. It should be a good day for it.
Yeah, we're going to come out Saturday night, I think, to stay with you. But
cool.
Yeah, so just so you guys are aware, listening to this podcast, we aren't going to just talk about jiu-jitsu in our days like that. It's going to be we're gonna talk about a lot of things. We're gonna have some guns talking about. We're gonna talk about some whiskey, possibly.
We will. Which is keto friendly, by the way.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
I learned that. So we're gonna talk about some whiskey. Maybe talk about some sniper stuff. Maybe one day on my wish list, get Tim Kennedy on this and sit down and talk with that crazy man, because
that'd be cool.
He's an awesome dude. I love watching him.
I met him actually at a sniper competition.
You did?
And super cool dude. He had contagious energy, and it's fun to be around. Because I could watch him during the interviews and all that stuff, and but just talking to him one-on-one, away from the cameras, away from all that stuff, just like, hey man, how's it going? Super cool guy, fun to be around, very very warm, personable. This dude's a beast, man. You see his workouts. Like, I saw him at work, because he was doing workouts while we were doing our own thing out there in Georgia, and man, bro's a beast. So he's also like a ranked black belt. I don't remember how many stripes he has, but it's like, man, that guy would be a beast, because he does. That'd be rough to roll with him.
Yeah, no,
I think you should do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's put me against Tim Kennedy. Great.
So Scott just challenged Tim Kennedy.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure he heard that.
No holds barred, no time limit. Jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah, no rules, so that means I can bring anybody into the fight I want.
I'll videotape for you.
Right? Great.
Take a picture.
Take a picture. This is gonna last about 30, not even 30 seconds.
Yeah. Be an Instagram video.
Right? If we're lucky.
Yeah.
But no, and that's something we'll get into. We'll get into like the breakdown of what it takes to be a sniper, how you got into your profession, stuff like that. So, and I don't have that exciting of a life, so I'm gonna live vicariously through Paul and his craziness. So,
and just to clarify, I'm not a military sniper. I'm not gonna claim to be. I've been a sniper on a police SWAT team for. I think I've been on the team for like 10 years, and I've been a sniper there for I think 8 years. So it's law enforcement. Some people get nitpicky about all that stuff. So
Yeah, definitely need to.
just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
But I love the long range shooting, the NRL competitions and PRS competitions, and we'll go more to that stuff later. But
Yeah, 'cause our ride's almost over, so we're gonna have to call it before we kill off and lose this podcast too. So I don't want to lose this one.
yeah, we'll hit save this time.
Yeah, I'll hit save this time, I promise. But yeah, that's all stuff I hope we get to get really into depth with, and maybe even do some videos along with it eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that'll be something I think will be really cool to do. But,
Yep, we'll load them up on the page
YouTube.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and we will talk to you all soon.
All right, later, skaters.